Today what we're going to do is, we had a pretty nice session the last time we filmed in this bean field, these beans that are just about gone now. The snow, we've had real warm weather and the snow has slowly been melting, just about all gone. What I'm going to do today is, I've got Ellie with me as well, and so Bella has done a really nice job. I talked about it last session, how she's matured quite a bit the last couple weeks, about the last month, I would say. She's pretty fixated right now on the neighbor's horses, so that's good because she's not losing any control, but she is paying attention to them. But what we're going to do is I'm going to work her with Ellie today. And so one of the things that she has that has proven to be a bit of a distraction to her is when we've got other dogs. Now I've got 3 other dogs of our own, and sometimes we have other people's dogs here that we're working with, and when she gets into a group setting, she does seem to struggle a bit with focus, and it's something that she needs to get through. She needs to get past that, and it only comes with opportunity to first form a habit. And so we've been working 90% of the time, 95% of the time, we've been working with her by herself. We have filmed a few of these with the other dogs, and we've everyday life incorporated the other dogs into situations where she had to kind of focus through. But first and foremost, she's got to form the habit on her own, by herself, and it's got to be really strong, because if it's okay and then you add distractions, the habit goes away. It's got to be almost perfect, I would say, by herself before you can start incorporating and adding distractions. And I think a lot of people struggle with the idea of working on perfecting things with the dog and then adding distractions to it. I think a lot of times, and the reason I'm saying this is I've gotten a lot of messages lately about dogs that do things really well by themselves or with their owner, but then they go to their friend's house, or friends come over, or they're with another dog that doesn't behave. I got this message a couple times over the Christmas holidays. Went to a friend's house, their dog doesn't behave, my dog came unglued, what do I do? Well, instead of going from A to Z, you need to go from A to B, and B to C, and C to D, and that whole incremental training process needs to take place. So today we're going to work with Ellie. Ellie is a good influence on Bella behavior-wise. Ellie is one of our personal dogs, but she's culturally, her impacts on Bella will be calm. She's not going to get fired up. I mean, she'll get excited when I retrieve, and I'll show you that. The field stuff is, there's no question she has that. But in between, she's got a real nice on and off. And so Bella needs to understand that as well. So we're going to set stuff up today. I am going to work in these beans again. We're going to use the training dummies, the antler training dummies, because we are kind of prepping now for shed. We got sheds on the mind. They're starting to fall. We're not going to look for them anytime soon, but there are deer starting to shed out here right around the first of the year. So we're going to set up. We're going to use this bean field. It's absolutely perfect for training, because this is ideal spot that you would find sheds in the coming months. So we're going to set up, and I used Bella, and we ran some retrieves, and we set up some trailing memories last time using the rows of beans. This time I'm going to have her go across the beans. Doesn't sound like a real big deal, but it can be visually. It goes back to the idea of her having to cross barriers. We've been doing that when she was a little bit younger, going from cover to cover to cover. We ran into some issues doing that cover to cover to cover, sending her through on longer memories. So what we're going to do today is probably have Bella retrieve on shorter memories. When I say shorter, maybe not necessarily a lot shorter distance, but shorter time frames, because we did go a little bit long with her last time and she forgot, and so we had to help her through it. Ellie here, we could send Ellie probably on very, very long memories, time-wise. We also can send Ellie pretty confidently on some blind retrieves. It's because she's 4 years old, and she was maybe not even where Bella is now when she was 9 months old, which is the age that Bella's coming up on. She's about a little over a week away from 9 months. So we're gonna start out, we're gonna walk a circle memory. I'm gonna go right towards the horses and let Bella have a chance to take a little bit closer look. We're gonna set up the retrieve on the other side of that tree line. and then we'll send Ellie. And so this will also give Bella a chance to honor another dog's retrieve, just building on patience, building on steadiness, building on the idea of not every retrieve is yours. So Ellie, heel. Bella, heel. So Bella's gonna have to focus on good heel work, no different than any other time. This time we've got an added distraction of Ellie being with us. Ellie is off lead. Bella, we're gonna get off lead here. But to start out with, we gotta get her dialed into the idea of get my nose up, keep my nose off the ground. We're melting, so we're gonna be walking through different stuff, puddles, mud, lots of deer poop in here. So it's getting that nose up and avoiding these distractions. It's walking past these horses and not having an issue. It's varying my pace and having her respond to it. So if she wants to go fast, we're going to slow down. And I don't even pay much attention to Ellie. I can almost feel where she is. She's always in pretty good position. Heel. Heel. That was a pretty firm correction, because I've had about enough of her out of position. Now watch the difference. So this goes back to that idea of make a correction and make it count. Just nagging her by bumping her didn't get results. A nice firm correction kind of woke her up and said, oh, I better listen. Work our way right through that barrier there. Whoa. Good girl. That was cool. Rooster sitting here tight. Nice rooster too. Did you see the tail on that? That was a good one. Good. So, Ellie heel. So what we got out of that was nice is, watch her right now. Look at her body language. She's pretty intense. She's going, what in the world was that? Good. Good. But she didn't break. Good. Heel. So I'm going to work right through here slowly. You know she's going to have wind of it. Good. Heel. Heel. Good girl. Good. So that's just a really nice little built-in. So here what we'll do, pitch one, pitch two, heel. We're gonna walk off. So all I'm doing is setting this up as a trailing memory. Or not trailing memory, a circle memory. Heel. Heel. We get back on the road and you'll see she gets a lot better on the road. But look at how often we practiced here. This is our spot that we practiced for weeks and weeks and weeks. She's getting much better with feeling me, staying with me. Heel. Heel. Come on. Very good. Very good. Now, we get back here kind of to where we started out. Sit, 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 sit. Good. Sit. One of my apple trees didn't make it. Now, I am gonna have her on lead because we're not gonna send Bella, we're gonna send Ellie. But I'm gonna have, this is gonna be a test for Bella to have to just sit and wait and be patient. And it'll be a nice little retrieve for Ellie through. Ellie, go back. That's that barrier that the dogs have to learn to run through. Now she's got to run right by all that pheasant scent. Good girl. Good girl. Good. And Bella's got to stay calm and steady while she comes back in. Very nice. Good. Sit. 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 Now this is the value of having a dog working with us that's a little more mature. Comes in, settles in, sits nicely, doesn't get distracted, doesn't get wound up, doesn't get kind of fired up, doesn't pour gas on the fire of this young dog that's freaking out. Lets me make my correction. Did. Sit. And I just don't have to worry about the dog with the bumper in its mouth. Sit down. Sit down. Bella? So, as you can see, sit down. Sit down. If you look back on some of the last videos, Bella's done very well by herself. And just by simply bringing in this dog, it's almost like she forgets a lot of stuff. And it's because if Ellie wasn't here and we were doing our own drills, Bella wouldn't have this intensified excitement. But now what we need to do is we need to start to replicate the same thing that she's doing well by herself with another dog. So my corrections are going to be just like they used to be. I used to correct her when she made mistakes by herself. Then she quit making those mistakes because we did it consistently and it made sense to her and it clicked and she went, oh, I know the expected behavior. But then when we start adding new things, and that could be new environments, like changing spots. When we change spots with her, she usually struggles. So what did we have to do? Get really good in one spot and then move. Then get good in that spot and then move. Then get good in that spot and move. Until the spot didn't affect the performance. And we've gotten there with her. But now we're going to start adding in another dog. And I'm not going to bring 5 of them at once or 4 of them at once. We're going to do 1 of them. And then we're going to make the appropriate corrections to get the right behavior. And then we'll do it again. And then we'll do it again. Until she doesn't phase her when another dog runs out, makes a retrieve and comes back. Good. Heel. Sit. Good. Ellie, heel. Ellie. Ellie, go back. Go back. So the second time, Bella sits a lot better. Good. Bella was lunging the first time. She went, oh my gosh, it's not my turn again. But she's sitting a lot better. Good girl. Good girl. Bella, good. You can see Bella almost shakes with excitement. So I'm gonna get ready. I'm not gonna worry about Ellie. I'm gonna be focused on Bella. Sit, sit, sit. Good, good, good. I'm not going to be worried about Ellie because Ellie's not going to drop it. Ellie's not going to run off. Good. Ellie's really showing Bella, you know what? Just relax. Dead. Sit. Sit up. Sit up. So I'm going to put this dummy away and then I want to get a good sit out of it. Sit. Sit. Good. And just slow everything down. Good. Good. Bella, heel. Ellie, heel. Good. So now, let's walk down, let's replicate that. Instead of going a big circle memory, let's walk this out as a straight line, but it's across the grain of these beans. And this time I'm gonna unhook Bella. So she's off lead right now. If I got a reminder, I'll just tap her with the lead. And if she wants to go too fast, I slow down. Heel. You can see how her body language just kind of ramps up. I mean, she's really excited. She's really having fun. That's a great mindset for this dog to be in right now. She is having fun. They're going to learn something when they're having fun. It's just when it gets to be too much that you lose their control, that you potentially lose control and they boil over. That's where you got to turn the heat down a little bit. You got to see that coming. Good. 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 Sit. 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 I'm just going to slip the lead back on. Heel. She's getting real sharp with that little watch cue. Give her a watch, she peeks right at it. Now I get away from that bumper, that distraction of her braking. I don't think she's going to brake, but I'm not going to give her a chance to and let it fail. The drill is not steadiness. The drill is this little trailing memory across the grain of the beans. So I slipped the lead on, but as soon as I get back and I'm confident with her, I took the lead back off of her. So she's off lead right now. Got the adjustable leader collar on, so she does still feel that. Heel. Heel. Neighbor's dog barking, so that's a little distracting. We're going to take it all the way out to where we sent Ellie from, which is a pretty decent retrieve. I mean, it's probably 125 yards. Maybe a little more. So I'm probably pushing the distance a little bit, but I think we'll be all right. Heel, heel. Bella, heel, sit. Ellie, sit. Now, for this, I'm gonna back Ellie up. I'm gonna take Bella a step forward and line her. Because I want her focused on me. I don't want her being distracted by Ellie. Ellie, sit. Watch. Bella. So she takes a little bit of a left. She goes a little bit left, but I still like that she didn't go around it. She still went through it. Good. Good girl. Good girl. She's got a little bit of a loose hold on that dummy. And then she drops it. So I could see that coming. Now she's got to have to rehunt it. You can tell she's just confused. She's going, I don't know. Here, here, sit, Ellie, sit. So, okay, so she came back. She tripped on it. She's so excited right now. She had a real loose grip on it. I could see that. It was holding funny. She stepped on it. She tripped on it. She dropped it. She ran past it. And then she's so wound up right now. She's so excited. She goes, I can't even find it. And you could tell she didn't find it. She didn't find it. So she said, I'm just coming home. I'm going back to Dad. So we certainly don't want to end it that way. We're certainly not going to get on her about it, negative. You're going to sit, heel. I'm going to take her back a little bit closer. Sit down. Now I have to be careful with my tone, because if I get on her and she thinks I'm on her, it goes back to this idea of when they're in a good state of mind, they learn. When they're in the negative state of mind, they shut down. You get on them too hard, they're going to shut down. And then you're just going backwards in training. So, Bella. Good. Good. There's a little wind, a little bit of wind. Good girl. Good girl. There's a very good girl. Right here. Good dog. Right here. Good dog. Good dog. Right here. Here, 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 here. You leave Ellie alone. Now that's a real temptation with Ellie there. Very nice. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Put that back in. Very nice. Good girl. Dead. Dead. Very nice. Good girl. Sit. Now, we're done with that, so now what do we want to do? We want to come back under control. Good girl. Sit. 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 Good girl. So, I love how we had success there. Lined her back. She took the original line. She caught wind and hunted into the wind. So the wind's going this way. I don't know if you can see that, but the wind's going this way. So she got into the wind. She hunted right into it, found it, picked it up. Now what's the difference between her doing that time and the time before where she dropped it and ran right past it? Well, the difference is where she was mentally. She was so jacked up and so excited and so running so hot. She wasn't thinking, she was just responding athletically. Her body was going, her mind wasn't. The second time we recollected her, lined her out, and her mind and her body engaged together. The gears locked up, and she finished it out really nice. And then she came back real nice, and she delivered real nice, and she left Ellie alone. And that's a big win. So that's it for today. I'm not going to do anything more with her. We're going to heal her back under control. We're going to heal Ellie back under control. A very nice little session for her with another dog. and we got some nice stuff out of it. Ended up sending on like almost on a return, almost for like an unseen. That was like, because she dropped it and she didn't know where it was. She failed on it the first time looking for it for a second time. Got it on the third time. But the other thing that was nice was she went through the cover to get to it the first time. That was very nice. That's a nice long retrieve for her across grain, not with the rows, across. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that can be a lot for a dog. She honored Ellie very nicely, especially the second time. The first time she got a little excited, but I corrected her. And then she went, I know I'm not supposed to do that because I'll get corrected if I do that again. And she responded very nicely for the second one. So nice little session. Again, talking about the idea, or focusing on the idea of, they get good by themselves. They got to be good in crowds. You can't go from by yourself to a crowd. You got to incrementally take little steps. So replicate training by adding small layers of distraction. Today, Ellie was the small layer of distraction because Ellie's a pretty nice dog. And Ellie's a pretty controlled dog. And Ellie's probably a pretty good role model, if you will. And so with her positively kind of giving her this influence from the outside of demeanor and of performance, and when she comes back she just sits down and doesn't get, you know, if she was a dog that would run up and want to tease this puppy, I'd have a hell of a time trying to get them both to settle down. And then my blood pressure would go up, and then I'd get frustrated, and then I'd correct. I didn't have to correct Ellie very much. And the one time I did, I said, sit down. And then I went, I better be careful because this dog responds to it. Sit down. Look at her. Sit. So when I give that command to her, she hears it and goes, man, what if she was sitting and I'm telling her to sit down? She's going to go, I am sitting down. Now I'm confused. I don't know what you want. So you have to be careful of all that stuff because these dogs are observing us all the time. And sometimes we're directing stuff at certain dogs or certain people or certain things that we don't realize they think we might be talking to them. And then all of a sudden they'll shut down. And if they shut down and we're expecting things of them, we get more mad. And if we get more mad, it just starts to spiral. So all in all, we had a nice session. We gained some stuff out of it today. Good girls. Ellie, come here.
We got a long drive home, and I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if you